I've gone live for the first time ever. I'm not really expecting anyone to be here live because I didn't advertise that I was going to be live. This is almost a bit of a test to see what it's like doing it live. So here I am, and I'm going to start. This is a reading for the spring equinox that is taking place now. And I've already laid the cards out, which I haven't done much lately. I've usually been shuffling, but with the whole going live thing, I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. I also hurt my tooth this morning, which is annoying, so hopefully I won't have much trouble talking. I just kind of whacked my gum with my toothbrush. So, let's get going. The spring equinox is a time in which the day and the night are almost of complete equal length, right? So it's a time of great balance. I pulled a card for Instagram this morning. If any of you would like to follow me on Instagram, it's Sagittarius Sun Tarot, at Sagittarius Sun Tarot, that's my handle. And the card that came out this morning was the Six of Swords. And it struck me as really interesting because this is a card literally about transition. We can see the cat here pushing that boat out onto the waters, right? It's a little bit different than other Six of Swords and other decks in the sense that the cat is not already on the water. So this is kind of that pause before we set out onto something new. And it feels like that's what the equinox is like. It's like we are at that balance point, and now the days become longer and longer and longer until the solstice, right? And then the process kind of starts again-ish, right? So it feels like we're at a standstill at the moment where we are looking at where we want to go over the next few months. And I thought it would be lovely to do a reading for this. So how this reading works is that this first line is where we've been, this second line is where we're going, and this third line is what we need to do to get there. I did a reading like this for the autumn equinox, I think, so it's something similar. And if you're in the other side of the world and you would prefer to watch an autumn equinox reading, then there is one on my channel. So I'm using the Black Cat's Tarot. Before I continue, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel to receive more of these videos or to get notified when I go live, then please do. And if you like this video, please like this video. Okay, so the first line here of the Black Cat Tarot, we have another six. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. We have the Eight of Coins in reverse. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So in terms of where we've been, it feels like we've been spending quite a lot of time perfecting something, right? This Eight of Pentacles is always about perfecting, right? We can see how this cat is perfecting this cake. But this comes out in the reverse, as does the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is a card about victory and achievement. So what this is giving me a vibe of is how, you know, when you work really hard in life to achieve certain things that you feel like you're meant to achieve, and then you get there and you think, actually, did I even want this? It has the vibe of you've spent your life up until this moment doing what is expected of you, okay? Doing the education that's expected of you, taking the jobs that's expected of you, having the family that was expected of you, having a partner that was expected of you. You spent a long time fine-tuning and honing your life to fit into the mainstream, to fit into what it was supposed to be. So whatever that means for you, you may be looking at all of those milestones I mentioned and thinking, well, I didn't do any of that. But it's deeper than that. It's having spent most of your life playing some kind of a role, not necessarily living for yourself, but kind of living for others, living for that recognition, even if that recognition is just people going, oh, well, she's a good person, she's a good girl, right? Up until this point, you've lived your life this way. You've gone and gone and gone. You've been a go-getter, right? You've been somebody that's moved forward, taken the steps, kept going. And you may be feeling a little bit tired now, okay? This year, here we are in March, at this equal point. It may be the first time in which you've really actively, consciously stood back and thought, okay, I've done all of this pushing, I've done all of this striving, but what is it that I actually want in my life, okay? And that's very much the energy of this cat, about to push his boat out, right? About to get going on something else. But you're taking this moment to pause. You don't want what you've had. You don't want to fall into those boxes of doing what's expected of you. You want something different. You want something new, okay? So where you're going, we have the Seven of Coins. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse, pretty Ace of Cups, right? And we have the Page of Swords. So where you're going is very interesting, right? You're going to a place where, if you look really closely at this Seven of Pentacles, there's this cat and he or she is sitting in front of like these new shoots of growth. So where you're going is this mindset, this mind frame of, okay, I want you. If I want you, I need to take the time to allow new to grow. I need to allow new to look the way it's supposed to look. I can't dictate how it's going to be. All I can do is plant those seeds and allow them to grow. So in a very patient mind frame, you've identified that you don't want to be where you've been. You've identified that you want to move forward, and there's a real patient mindset you've got going on. Sometimes I see the Seven of Pentacles as feeling like you're a failure, right? That's how sometimes it comes up in readings. With this card and in this reading, it's feeling very different. It feels much more as though you understand that nothing is a failure, that nothing in life is a failure, because everything that happens, whether it's perceived to be negative or not, is bringing you forwards to where you need to be. And you've really got to that place, you really got to that wisdom. This Ace of Cups here is saying to me that where you're going is also a place in which you're able to be vulnerable with your emotions, open with your emotions, and allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. So I often see the Ace of Cups as being like an outpouring of emotion. It can be romantic love, but not always. To me, I can sometimes see this as tears even, which kind of symbolize that need to let out, to release, to be open, to give emotion, right? And it feels as though in the past, when you've been doing what you knew you were supposed to do, you held a lot of yourself back. And now you've decided you're not going to do that anymore. You decided that you're not going to hold yourself back, you're going to allow yourself to grow, even if you're not entirely sure what that growth is going to look like yet. And with that comes so much clarity. This is a page, right? Page of Swords. So just starting out on the journey, very much like this cat, just starting out on the journey. But what a journey it is. I mean, you're floating and you have that sword of clarity. So where you're going is somewhere where your wisdom and the knowledge that you gain from doing things quote unquote right or doing things normally, understanding that now you want to do things for you, this clarity, this wisdom is going to allow you to really get into flow and start moving the next phase of your life. So this equinox I'm feeling is very much a metaphor. It's not literally like from January to March, you looked at your life and thought, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And then from March to September, you're going to do something new. No, this equinox is a metaphor for your life up to date. So however old you are now, right? It could have been 20 years, it could have been 30 years. You've been living your life a certain way for a long time. This point, this time, somehow has the kind of magnetic resonance to push you forward to a different place. And if this reading is for you, you would already be feeling that vibe. All of my readings on my channel are very much for people who are transforming, who are moving forward, who are starting anew, even if it seems very subtle, even if your outside circumstances don't look particularly new. It's that soul evolution, okay? So your soul is evolving yet again at this equinox, looking at where it wants to go and starting to make plans and knowing that there's no wrong direction. What wisdom in that? There's no wrong direction. So what you need to do to get there, right? What you need to do to get to the next level of your life. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. These cards are really stunning. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So I like those two swords coming up like there and there. Actually, there's three. There's the Knight of Swords here, then the Page of Swords and the Queen of Swords. It's interesting because that Knight is impulsive. That Knight is doing things without thinking, right? What you were in before, following the norm, one step in front of the other. This page is becoming anew. This page is like, okay, I'm going to start afresh. I'm going to build on all the wisdom I've got and step out into the world. And this Queen of Swords has mastered that. This Queen of Swords has mastered that ability to move forward from newness, but with also experience, okay? So what you need to do to get there. This Ten of Cups is interesting. You need the help and support of others. So you may have been really independent, you may have been able to live your life for yourself in terms of, this is going to sound weird, but it's what's coming up. So even if you did all the things that you were supposed to do, even if you got married and had a partner, you still were doing things by yourself because perhaps you were not allowing yourself to be your authentic self with a partner. Perhaps you didn't allow yourself to be authentic with your friends. There's something where you were hiding, you were masking. And so even though you probably have got loads of people in your life, people that have been in your life up to this point, you were never truly yourself. What you need to do to get to this new point is to allow yourself to be yourself. Allow yourself to be authentically you with all of your quirks and all of your flaws, and that will bring the people into your life that will help you to get to your next phase. You will start to attract different kinds of people, people that are kind of on your vibe, people that are on your level, people that are ready to move forwards. They're going to enter your life once you start to live from this authentic place, and you're there already, really, right? By knowing and being conscious of moving forwards into this new space, your vibration is already changing and attracting in those who will be able to walk that path with you. Okay. You also need to allow yourself to take time to recover. Allow yourself to rest. Know that this journey is going to be up and down. It's not going to be a linear, I want something new. 1, 2, 3, I'm there. No, it's going to be a series of backwards and forwards, like that spiral. But knowing that that spiral actually is always getting to a higher place because you're never going to be going backwards, even if it feels like you are. Look at this Six of Swords here. He's going forwards. There's going to be no going backwards. But at times there may be setbacks where it feels as though you're going backwards. And your challenge is going to be to remember that you are indeed moving forward. So in those times where you have to stop or pause or take time to recover, remind yourself that this is okay. Take that time and you'll move forward stronger at the end. And this last card here, the message is so strong. It's the Queen of Swords. How you're going to get to where you're going, what you need to do is stand up for yourself, assert your beliefs and assert your needs, assert your wants, even if it feels like it goes against what other people want. This is a time for you. This is a time for you to do what is best for you, and it's a time for you to communicate that. All of that wisdom that you've accumulated, allow it to really get you where you need to go in your life going forward. Okay? Wow, that's such a gorgeous reading. I don't really feel like putting an oracle. What I feel like putting is one more tarot to bring this all together, and it came out very fast. So one more message for us at this beautiful spring equinox time of a magical balance is the the Queen of Cups. So this is gorgeous. Do you see how this cat is kind of looking out? Very similar vibes to that, looking to your next place. But don't forget your throne, okay? Don't forget where you come from. Don't forget all of the wisdom you've amassed. Be gentle and soft with yourself. Dream of your future. Dream your future into being. And start taking those steps. Right. Take care. I hope you've enjoyed this. Bye.